Take me!
It's the end. But the moment's been prepared for. Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all having a good day so far. Today, it's time to jump into the post-game of Future Redeemed, finish off the last couple of side quests, and basically just wrap up the last few loose ends with the Xenoblade trilogy. It's been a long journey. I can't believe we're standing here at the end of it. Like, it still doesn't quite feel real. Maybe it will by the end of stream. So, the first thing to note is that, like basically every other game in the series, you get a special title screen upon beating Future Redeemed. And honestly, it probably is my least favourite of those. It's just a copy of the base game's one, except with the Future Redeemed party instead. Definitely doesn't stand up to something like Torna's, which, you know, was Pyra and a seal. Could have been like a view of the planet or something. Just anything more interesting than this. But, you know, it's a minor thing. I'm not gonna waste too much time complaining about that. Oh, I think my voice went a little bit there. I think I've not quite fully recovered from yesterday. Sure, it was a shorter stream than usual, but obviously I spent almost an hour talking quite heavily about some stuff. So, yeah, as I said yesterday, there isn't really a point of no return for Future Redeemed. You can literally just walk up to the final boss and leave if you want to, which is what I'm going to do. We're not going to be fighting Alpha today. No need to do that again. As much as I'd love to sit here and just listen to this music, because... Woo! Right, so the first thing that we're going to be talking about today is, I guess, the main post-game reward you get in Future Redeemed, because you'll notice we have someone new in the party. Nael's class is War Mage, which is an attacker. Let's not beat around the bush. Nael is the worst party member in the game, and possibly the series. It's nothing to do with her class, which is a standard attacker, but with how she is implemented into the party. She's kind of like a hero. You can't control her or upgrade her, but she does get fusion arts. The big issue is that she can't be added to a unity combo, and unlike heroes, her order isn't a free turn in a chain attack, which means her presence can completely screw you out of a unity order depending on which character orders show up in the chain attack, killing your chain attack dead in the water. There are characters with worse skills and worse stats on paper, but the worst they do is take the space of a better option. None actively screw you over and make your party weaker the way Nar-El does. And you can't even take her out of your party to bypass this either. The only way to fix this is to give her an accessory that makes her order not deplete the chain attack gauge, which does make her somewhat useful, but it's just patching up what shouldn't have been an issue in the first place. It's a shame that the last bio we're doing this series is so negative. It would have been nice to finish on a positive note, but that's not the way that it goes. Hey, Sam, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? So, speaking of that accessory, I am going to try and put that on Nar-El, see if I've got it. I'm not sure that I did actually pick it up, though, because I can't remember where you get it from. Is that it? Charges chain attack gauge? Yeah, I think that's the one. I think that's what I want on her. As for her other accessories and gems, let's just put some basic stuff on her. Attack, dexterity. I think she does some debuffing, so... she can have some critical rate, and then... I mean, I'm not too bothered about giving her an amazing build, because she is just a bonus, really. She's not... The party isn't relying on her to do anything too crazy. Yeah, sure, she can have that. Rex goes down a lot. Okay, right. That is pretty much it in terms of post-game exclusive stuff. So the next thing on the agenda is to finish off the last couple of side quests. What is that? I'm not sure what that is. That's not a side quest. Is that lower down? Not in there. You know, I'm going to quickly check out what that is. And at this point, it doesn't really matter.
Here's our destination.
But I kind of just want to know.
Front and center. This is quite rare.
Okay, if that's not in here... Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's nothing important. Right. The first thing I want to finish off is Babobi, because I should have all the Nopon medals. I think I got them all. Is it the portal to go to Origin? I don't think so, because that's in the center of that little bit, not on the side, like that question mark was.
We're here. Where next?
We've got something for you. Babobi appreciate hard work of friends. Please to wait a sec while Babobi confirm. Astounding. Perfection. Can hardly believe friends have collected this many. Behold, reward that due to friends today. Please to make best possible use of. Oh, spiffing! So spiffing! Nopon medal collection is complete. Thanks to friends so much, Babobi not know how to thank with enough raring. Haha, I'm just happy you're happy, pal. Does that mean you finally come into your own? Exactly correct. Now can go home without scolding from Mumapon. Or so Babobi thought at first, but now that Babobi think, might stay here while longer. But lo and behold, Babobi discovered beauty of independent living. If Babobi go back now, assuredly forced to enter workforce, Babobi not peachy keen on prospect of hard labour. Yeah? Well, you know yourself best. Do what makes you happy, man. Anyway, with all that said, Shop of Babobi will be taking long administrative hiatus. but Bobobi not want to stay forever alone, so would appreciate if friends could come out and visit. Sure thing, if we find a moment. Okay then, Bobobi take nap now. Please rouse from slumber at dinner time. Instantly out like a light. Gotta love Nopon.
Ah, yes! That's the full medal collection.
Yay! We finally finished it.
Just earlier, Bobobi received letter from Mumapon. Oh yeah? What did she say? She check in to see if Bobobi finished or not with collection of Nopon medal. But Bobobi get bit cheeky and send straight back with curt reply, not yet. Why? You could have told her the good news. If Bobobi write that, she insists Bobobi return home with utmost urgent. Probably also make do long list of chores too. Can get away with busy excusings for present. Art of mercantile negotiation has many uses. Meh, genius application of thinking. Bobobi is such smarty-pon. Oh, I love Bobobi. He's a fun one. That weird. What's weird? Bobobi been living day to day as free spirit, doing whatever tickles fancy of Bobobi, but now it starts to feel like something lacking. Ah, that's probably because you had a little taste of the joy of good, honest labour. Meh, joy of working off clogs? Is unimaginable. It's possible that Mumapon expects so much of Bobobi to plant seed of motivation. No! From now on, Bobobi refused to move single setry. Prerogative of lazy bum is basic right. Relatable. I also don't enjoy hard labour. Right, now that I've added Bobobi to the community, I do believe that I can add Searle. Where has she got to? Yep, there we go, there she is. Let's track her. She is not currently available. There we go, there she is. Oh, hey Sammy, you've got something new to say. Say, I've been meaning to ask, how much do you know about the big lordy guys? Well, the legend goes that 5 great monster lords inhabit these lands. And if you beat them to a pulp, you can probably get your hands on some nice loot. Don't quote me on that, though. Me and Hai are way too weak to take them on ourselves, so I'm willing to make an exception this one time and let you claim the goodies. Okay, she's talking about the super bosses. I've already shown off 3 of those. I will be showing off the other 2 later today. Not fighting them, though, just showing that they exist. Hey you, I want to give you this. It's a recipe. A Nopon friend of mine gave it to me. It's called Doodle Noodles. Isn't that adorable? Oh, and if you need any assistance, they said they all want to help. Nopon are normally so fickle. What got them fired up enough to get involved like this? Heh, I know what we can do. Starting today, I'm going to appoint you our official Nopon ambassador. Really? An ambassador? Me? That's badassador.
Keep in touch, yeah?
Kirsch! This is Nopon Ambassador Searle. Do you copy? Over. We copy. So, how are you getting on with the pon? Oh, great. We had a blast again today, playing games and stuff. You could say I had a heck of a time. I think we struck gold appointing this one. She's a real free spirit. A lot of free spirits today. I guess they won't stay in the bag. Okay, just a handful of side quests to go, and they really shouldn't take too long because it is literally just a new set of board quests. For whatever reason, these board quests unlock during Chapter 5, so you could theoretically do them before the final boss. But who's going to be standing right in front of the final boss and go, you know what, we'll do that later, I'm going to come and go do the quest board? No one's going to do that, so they're effectively post-game quests. Ooh, more new requests up on the board. Let me add them. While exploring Zalmor's Thor tunnels, we chanced upon some real mean Igners. Please take them out before someone gets hurt. I dropped my favorite pair of goggles on the old Lega Barja battlefront. If found, please return. Hark! A Varga. Aye, that monster most rare was seen at Dire Bladder Cliffs. I wish to dissect it for science. Won't someone go kill it? These ones sound pretty tough. Probably best we take care of them, though. Right, we'll do the goggles first, I think. What level am I currently? Level 53. Okay. I know the fight for one of these quests is level 55, so I'm going to quickly head over to the camp and give myself a bit of bonus experience. Don't feel too much shame in doing that now that I'm in the postgame. And I should have plenty from all the side quests I've done. How high can I go? 61. Not that high, actually. Should we beat the big baddie? Nah, some guy lost his goggles. This is more important. Oh, you see, I'm working up. Gonna find the goggles, do the Ignas, and then fight the big baddie. We're building up to the big baddie fight.
These fists just keep hitting harder.
We'll clean everyone off as well. Why not?
Time to freshen up.
That's the first bath Nael has taken since the game began. What are you doing over there, Rex? Right, so these goggles, I believe they are in the, yeah, they're in the lower part of Aurora Shelf.
What we need should be here.
We're here.
Somewhere.
Let's ignore the big boy over there. That's not why I'm here. They are somewhere here. There they are. I think that's them.
Something shining. Is this what we've been seeing?
Right, that's the goggles done. Next up is the Ignas, which are just in this cave over here.
I see light.
We've arrived.
Most welcome.
Oh, can I not? Oh, I can't go backwards that way. That's lame. I'm going to have to walk all the way around.
Youch.
I'm surprised that Ropal there didn't aggro me. They usually aggro you regardless of your level.
Should be near here.
Oh, that is a lot of enemies. Holy shit. I didn't realize there'd be so many of them. Oh, the last time I fought a group of Ignas this big, there was trouble. Still have trauma from that last week. There aren't any big birds around though, so maybe it won't be as much of a problem.
Let's send them packing. I lost the enemy's
Okay, only a few of them left. Okay, I could chain attack, but that really does feel like overkill. Nice.
How we'll want to carry on. I could have done that one-handed.
Then, right, just one more to go. The Royal Varga. It should just be, yeah, on that cliff.
Made it.
Hopefully this fight won't be too tricky. I don't remember it being that difficult. Worst case, I can always level myself up to level 60.
If we're gonna do it, we better do it right. All right. You've got my full support.
Let's go for the break here. Okay, yeah, he's not too bulky. He's already taken a fair bit of damage.
I'm the cure to all your problems.
Thanks. Right on the money.
Yeah! Awesome!
Great. Find a way to turn it around. Mighty strike.
Let's keep pushing through.
Right, nice. Oh, let's go for a smash.
Ready to raise the roof, Rex? Pass to me. Let's send them packing. We're gonna get the good stuff.
Lovely. Always satisfying. I am going to miss doing that regularly. Oh, you have summoned friends. I did not realize you had friends. Oh shit, you're summoning more. Okay. Let's try and clear the crowd out here a bit. Okay, maybe some AoE damage with Rex here would help.
Pass to me. Let's send them packing.
Oh my god. Well, okay, right. He is just going to keep summoning then. Let's just chain attack the big guy, get rid of him, and then deal with the crowd. Oh, not L. Right, let's test that accessory actually worked properly.
Phenomenal.
I'm a little bit worried that it might not work on the first turn, because it might have recharged already. We'll see. I don't know 100% how it works. It's been a little while since I've done post-game stuff in Future Redeemed. Pretty much basically haven't since the game came out.
I'll give you a right pummeling. We're not done yet.
Yeah, once you do have that accessory on her, she's not terrible. Like, her class is decent enough. It's just how they implemented her just isn't good.
Now we're good.
Let's try for that break and topple again. Never mind. It doesn't really matter at this point, it's dead.
Not over yet. I'll send them flying. Let me offer some wisdom.
Okay, then we'll go A. Actually, fun fact about Narl that I haven't really had a good opportunity to talk about all playthrough is that she's actually a repurposing of a beta design for Nia. There's a lot of early concept art of Nia with a very similar hairstyle to Narl. And it is quite a cute look, so I'm glad that they found a way to use it.
Fortune favors us. Change the paradigm. How do we play this?
Okay, let's go Matthew here.
Just the follow-up. I'll smash your faces. Leave it to us. All right, let's get cracking.
Okay, Nael, you can start us off. Do I want to finish with Rex or do I want to finish with Matthew? That is the question. They'll both do a lot of damage.
I'll bring it home.
I think just because he has the higher TP, I'm going to go for Rex. See how high I can get this. Oh, look at that. 159, nice.
We're just getting started. It's our turn, Matthew. Now you're getting me. Let's give him a taste.
Let's go and visit them.
Oh, lovely.
Shall we go see them briefly?
Right, just the rest of this crowd to deal with now. Should be a lot more manageable now they don't have the big guys summoning more of them all the time. Yeah, I did not remember this fight being so tricky. I guess it just got overshadowed in my memory by everything that happens at the end of the game. Okay, one of them left.
You think healing's easy?
Right, nice. Now that I've done that, I can add the final two members to the community. Just got to make sure I know where they hang out. They're both in there. Lovely. Now, if I remember correctly, Sam, I know obviously
Where to next?
you haven't been here for most of the story. There may be some slight spoilers in this dialogue. I don't think it'll be anything too major, though. Just a warning, just in case, though. Us Liberators originally lived in separate worlds. Shulk and Panacea in the world of the Bionis, and Boss and I in Ulrest. With me so far? When Ionios was born, most people were assimilated by origin, but there were also exceptions, such as us. Why weren't you assimilated, though? That I do not know. The reason for our existence here is unclear. It may be that we have a role to play in this world, something like that. A role? Easy, lad. No need to overheat your brain thinking about this stuff. Linker and me, we did what we could to exist, to be here and to meet you. That's all there is to it, I reckon. Okay, so it's not too spoilery. They kind of
We
acknowledge
understand each other better now.
that the Liberators are kind of in a weird space within Ionios, but they don't really explain why. I don't think there is that much of a deep explanation to it. I assume it's just Origin isn't a perfect machine. It has glitches, and sometimes things fall through. Teacher, let me just say this. I genuinely respect you. There's still so much more I want to learn from you. So, come what may, I'm going to be by your side, till the end. Panacea, you don't have to do that. Sorry, I got a bit het up, didn't I? That wasn't very like me. Thank you very much, Panacea. Witnessing your growth has been an honor. I mean it.
Always happy to help.
Right. With that done, there's only one more person to add to the community. And you get this person by getting all of the recipes. So by adding Searle, I can now finally add Georgie.
Different dishes they're eating.
I guess on some level I realised Grandad's curry was always the talk of Colony 9. But I never thought it'd turn out to be this big of a deal. Don't think he'd have imagined it either, to be honest. Ha, indeed. But I think dear old Giorgio would be proud. Ah, true enough. It certainly is nice to be proven wrong. Don't worry, I'll be sure to spread the good curry word and have folk talking about it 1,000 years from now. You get weirdly animated whenever you have curry on the brain, huh? Haha, always good to establish a good customer base. That'll keep me in good stead for years to come.
A growing circle of friends.
That does make me wonder, actually.
Community rock.
Obviously, this curry is a reference to the one from Xenoblade 1,
It's true. We must be forever
but
appreciative
Matthew
of
likes it
these
quite a bit. And his descendant, Monica, obviously has her own signature curry. I wonder if he passed down this recipe through his family. Suppose it's finally about time for me to follow in Grandad's footsteps and start up my own restaurant. Hell yeah, you gonna come to the city? I bet your business would be booming over there. Ha, you might be onto something. I can't really be hanging around this place my whole life, can I? Well, I'll give it a thought anyway. Cheers. If I do take you up on that, you better keep spreading the word. Okay. That is the community complete. 100% everyone is here. Do you see how much less painful that was than in Torna? Oh, I'm really glad they learnt their lesson with that. Right. Now that the community is done, though, it's time for the final side quest in not just Future Redeemed, not just Xenoblade 3, but the entire Xenoblade trilogy. Let's do this. Never thought about the curry. Good theory, though. Yeah, I mean, I only really just came up with that on the spot now, but I think it makes a lot of sense. Oh, hey, Matty. Hey, yourself, Dylan. What you up to here? Ah, well, you know, just thinking about things, life, where we're going, know what I mean? Yeah, city's on your mind? Bingo. Things will never go back to normal for us if we don't get this rebuilding done. One day soon, we'll have to get started. We'll need to scout out a new location. So with this and that, I figured it might help to have the armories operational, you know. But in Shulk's estimation, it'd be too much of a chore for the Mo. Repairing such a large piece of machinery would require a lot of work at hours. The internal wiring is also a lot more complicated than it appears at first glance. It would not be a simple job, simply put. So, have you talked to the others about this? No, not yet. Why? What are you thinking? That's perfect then. I'll take this to them. But Matt will never manage alone. That's why I wasn't going to suggest doing it alone. I want to ask the Liberators for their help. What? This is a city problem, Matt. You really want to get them involved in it? That's your problem right there, Dill. Huh? You gotta stop dividing the world into us and them. I know we were always living in our own little bubble, but it's like... us and the Liberators. We're tight now, don't you think? Honestly, we're pretty much a family. You're with me on this, yeah? Might have to chew on that one for a bit. Oh, come on, man. Don't be such a killjoy. Matthew, if you truly believe that, you need only reach out to them. See if they reciprocate how you feel. Yeah, I was thinking of doing just that. You're something else, Matt, I swear. Well, anyway, I'll be sure to do something about the whole armory business. And mate, stop trying to do things alone. We're all in this together. Yeah, alright, I get the message. Flippin' poser. Well, guess I'll just have to hold you to it. Aight, guess it's time to do the rounds. Here we go. Now, gameplay-wise, there's not too much to this side quest. It's mainly a dialogue one. But it is nice to see the whole community start to come together like this. I actually tried looking into it one time myself, but it seemed like a massive pain to fix up. Didn't know where to start. But it's definitely possible, right? That is, leaving cost out of the equation. Bringing the cost down is exactly why we're needed here, isn't it? But Matthew, isn't this a city problem? Do we really need to beg for help? If it enables us to use aerial routes, our logistics will get a much needed boost in efficiency. Getting it done would benefit everyone here. I think we'd be mad to pass this one up. Yeah, right, valid point. All on the same page then? Great. Now how about we get to laying the groundwork? If there's anything we can do to help, just shout. We'll sort it out. Better start rounding up the materials. Can someone get a list going? Alright then. We'll defer to you here, Matthew. I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Right, what's next?
Okay, on to the next group. Looks like the next group is in the canteen. Well, first the Remembrance Stone, and now the Armories. You sure like to keep honest people busy, huh? Heh, I know you. You're just happy he came to you, aren't you? This place is safe, but it's not 100% absolutely forever safe. Might be good to have an exit strategy in place. I'll be more than happy to help too, Matthew. Although I'm not great with machines, still, please find me something to do. There'll be a lot of people working on this. Gonna be hectic as heck. You know it. But if it's your curry fueling them, they'll have the energy to move mountains. That's a lot of faith to put in one humble dish, but sure thing. If they keep eating it, I'll keep making it. Hahaha, I'm already itching to get started. Any careful tinkering needs doing, you point me at it and watch me go. I've got some nimble fingers myself. Hope I can put them to good use. Oh, I know. I'll go round up more hands. The more people helping us, the better. Thanks, everyone. Couldn't do it without you.
Next is...
Okay, on to group number 4 on the other side of the group number 3, sorry, on the other side of the plaza here. Oh, hold on, Matthew, don't get stuck on the pot. Forsooth, you wish for mine help in the great work of restoring yon armories to their former glory? High time. Didn't think I'd get to fly in an armory again. Honestly, I can't wait. Is this a directive from the Liberator's top brass then, Matthew? Nah, not this time. You're free to take the job or leave it, whatever suits you. So you're leaving it to our discretion? Well then, our answer is obvious, isn't it? Yeah, I believe so. Harvey and I will take part in your project. We'd be glad to lend you our assistance. Oh yeah? You sure? Both in Kevis and Agnes, we're taught to value our comrades, to have each other's backs. This choice is no choice at all. Ha! Nice speech. That's hit me right in the tear ducts. We can try to canvass for more volunteers from our side as well. Would that be okay? Yeah, sweet, if you could. That'd be a big help. Young Master Matthew, prithee forget not your humble servant, me. Suck up. Janus might be the best character of all time. He is pretty entertaining. Also, hey, Sap, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day. Right, the final group. So, those big transport ship things are called armories, are they? You think the armories can still fly? I want to help. Let me help. Okay, but like, is that meant to be on top of our Liberator duties, or... Salmi, please stuff a sock in it. One day, Linka's gonna stop covering for you, and on that day, I'll be ready to teach you the meaning of real, honest work. I didn't say I wasn't gonna do it, did I? Way to stereotype someone. So, you'll help then? Sure, happily, though you might want to relegate me to lugging stuff around. I did some Levnis maintenance back in Keves, so I might be able to do a bit more. Yeah, might as well. Can't turn down a bud in need now, can we?
Let's head back for a mo.
Right. That's all of them. Let's see what this group can achieve. Yeah, I'm not doing too badly, thank you, Sap. You know, got some surreal feelings going through my head right now. Can't believe we're at the end, but all in all, I'm doing well. Oh, you're back. How did all... Haha! Wow, you were busy. See, Dylan? What'd I tell you? Us city folk and the Liberators, we're all birds of a feather now. Don't knock a bit of camaraderie till you've tried it, eh? Heh, you got me there. Well, one thing's for sure. Wherever we found the next city, we'll need to make sure there's lots of room. That's the spirit, mate. Heh, looks like I'll have my hands full. Nothing a mechanic loves more. I can't wait to get started too. Let's get our technically minded bods together and start planning. Nicole, did you get our experts to gather round? Sure, I can do that. Oh, I'll go as well. And if I could get the supply, logistics, provisions, and other assorted dogs' bodies over here, please? Ugh, this is so slapdash. Surely it'd be better to draw up a proper plan first. We can play a supervisory role then. Care to help me, Glimmer? Yeah, sure. If Matthew hadn't stepped up, all these people would never have come together on their own. Few would attempt to rally everyone under one banner, and fewer still would achieve it. We're already witness to a great feat today. For a leader, he's a real handful, that one. Right on, guys. There's plenty of work to go around. I know you'll do us proud. By all the stars above, the armories, as I live and breathe. All they need now are a few tanks of fuel and they should be ready to fly. Then we'd better stock up on some, so we're ready for any eventuality. We can't very well afford to be sitting around in Colony 9, indeed. You said it. As soon as this Alpha thing is resolved, we'll be right back to our war against Mobius. First off, we should find some place we can stay hidden from them. Good point. I'll be damned if I let those scumbags steal our home from us a second time. I feel exactly the same, Mickey, my chum. And we won't let them. Never again. Sounds to me like we'll be sticking together for quite some time then. Indubitably, for we are now faithful companions, bound by the red thread of common destiny, and no mistaking. Yeah, what Janice said. When we leave here, it'll be as one people. The armories are going to make that happen. Well then, it's all up to you guys now. We'll keep Colony 9 safe. Nobody's dying on my watch. That goes for you too, Matt. You die out there, I'll kick your ass. Heh, I hear ya. So I really like this quest. It brings most of the NPCs from all of the side quests together and ties everything into one. It's a really good quest for Matthew's character. Shows why he will go on to be such a good leader for the city. And it also serves to explain a slight unexplained question in the ending. We now know how everyone was able to escape Origin falling on this region.
Yeah! I love an armory, me!
Speaking of Origin
I might be
falling,
able to build one bigger if they let me use these ones as prototypes.
that's one scene from Future Redeemed that was actually in the base game. And I believe that's where all of the Origin shards that the party end up collecting in Chapter 7 come from. And a little bit of a dialogue tease there. Nicole is likely to be the one that goes on to build the Gilgamesh Varonis that the city from the base game is inside. This quest just wraps up a lot of little things. Ties off a lot of loose ends. Now that that's done, though, there's only a handful of things that still need to be shown. First of all, super bosses. There are 2 more that I haven't shown. The first one is over here in Ragwell Lake. If I think, yeah, this is probably the best place to warp to. Let's set it to be Thunder, because that's the weather you need to get this thing to spawn in.
We're here. Where next?
So down here in the water. Should be around here. There it is. This is Thunderfish Dunaroa, the 4th super boss. Technically, we could have seen this guy in Chapter 4, but he is weather dependent, so that's why I waited to show him rather than trying to deal with the weather before I got the Celestial Compass. But the final super boss will only spawn once you begin Chapter 5, so again, like those quests I just handled, it's effectively a post-game only thing. Although, let's be honest, most people aren't going to do super bosses until the post-game.
Well, here we are.
But this, if I can get a little bit closer, is Fog Dweller Abasi. This is a Fog Beast version of the most powerful super boss from Xenoblade 1. It's even found in the exact location that it was found in Xenoblade 1. It was weather specific there, it's not here, thankfully. But I think that's a pretty cool final super boss, bringing things back to the first game. Anyway, with that shown off, that's pretty much everything done in Future Redeemed. There's nothing else. However, beating Future Redeemed unlocks a tiny bit of new content in the base game. However, that content is quite difficult, and I'm not convinced that my party on my stream file is going to be able to handle it. So instead, I'm going to be jumping over to my main file and showing it off there. But I'm also going to use this as a quick opportunity to take a toilet break. I know it's not that long into stream, but I do need to go quite badly. So I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes, maybe 15.
Don't forget me!
But what does this have to do with Shulk?
I got your bottle of weak sauce.
Handling a man's turtle!
Right, I am back. Welcome to my main file. So, the new bit of content that you unlock for beating Future Redeemed is within the Land of Challenge, because if I go into Time Attack here, you unlock a brand new challenge battle. Which one is it? I believe it's this one. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one, called The Two Saviors. Now, this is quite a difficult mission, so even though I have managed to S-rank it, I'm going to do it on easy, and I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to go well, or that I'm going to beat it. I just want to show off what it is. And I will also show off the reward, but I've already got the reward, so I don't necessarily need to beat it.
I'd sage on tenterhooks.
The 6 knowers. I had to show them one last time. So in this fight, you've got to fight Shulk and Rex. Right, let's go for Rex first, because he is potentially the more dangerous damage dealer. And I believe you also can't use chain attacks during this fight. And also, yes, the music. Right, nice, got the break. I can't remember who had topple. Oh, it's Mio. Never mind, whiffed it. Do I have any other topple? Okay, yeah. Doing this on easy was a wise move. This isn't too bad. That's Rex down. Get to the side and go for a break on Shulk here. Nice. Oh, I have missed having a decent breaker. Alright, Shulk's nearly down. Let's go for some interlinks here, just for the points. Why did lands not go? There we go. Nice. Perfect. Love an S ranked. So, the reward for doing this, and I don't think it matters which difficulty you do it on, is...
Nothing to it.
Well, it's pretty great. You unlock Shulk and Rex as heroes. Now, unfortunately, you can't unlock their classes for the rest of the party. But this is still pretty cool. This is still a pretty cool reward. Let's add Rex in, why not? Okay, so there's only really one last thing that I want to talk about. And to talk about that, we need to go back to the city. I'm also going to just quickly open my curtains, because it's actually getting a bit gloomy in here. That's better. Oh, I can actually see what I'm doing now. So, Sam, I will give you a warning in advance. What I'm going to be talking about here is going to go into some spoilers for Future Redeemed. So, I'd recommend maybe just muting for a moment. I will be going to the chat screen and talking about some stuff after. So, once you see me go to the chat screen, it'll all be safe for you again. Right. Let's head to the city. And that is not the city. And specifically, I'm going to be going to the statue room. Because now that we've actually been through Future Redeemed, and we know properly who these statues depict, I want to kind of go over what they say and compare it to what actually happens in Future Redeemed. As well as offer a few cool little bits of trivia that relate to these characters. So, we'll start with Matthew. House Vandam. In memory of the founder of House Vandam, the city's restorer and liberator. Interesting. They had the name Liberators down. The original incarnation of the city was once laid to ruin by Mobius N's hand. The founder realised fully the power of Ouroboros, heretofore limited, and fought against N, ousting him. Once victorious, he gathered the old city's people, scattered to the winds, and re-established the city. With the city restored, he left its government in the hands of the founder of Doyle and departed on a lonely expedition. No records exist of his fate thereafter. Heirs of Vandam's lineage only returned to the new city several centuries later. Oral tradition has it that the founder was a master of the classical art of fistfighting, and the scions of House Vandam carry on the customs to this day. So, few things to note about here. There are no mentions of Alpha or A. As A said, the memories of that conflict faded away, and it seems to have been kind of scoured from history. And the current city have sort of rewritten their history to focus it more on Mobius. What's kind of sad though is that we saw Matthew leave at the end of Future Redeemed to go on a journey to find more people to bring to the city. We know he must have survived at least a little while, because obviously he has descendants. But he never came back. Nael, the others, they never saw him again. That's pretty sad. Hopefully, wherever he went, he had a happy life. Next up is Nael. House Doyle. In memory of the founder of House Doyle and the city's liberatrix. Directly descended from those who established the first original city. Her whereabouts were lost after N's ravaging of the city of old, but upon encountering the other founders, she committed herself fully to the fight. The founder is said to have a familial relation to the founder of Vandam, with scant extant records suggesting they were likely brother and sister. She fought alongside the founder of Vandam then, who was the elder of the two, and brought the power of Ouroboros to completion. Said to have been bright and wise, this founder laid the cornerstones for much of the city's governance and legal system. So, what's kind of really interesting here is that House Doyle are the leaders of the city conservatives. They're the ones who don't want to fight Mobius, who want to just kind of stick their fingers in the ears and pretend that everything is fine. Which lines up quite well with Nael's arc from Future Redeemed. She was doing that very same thing. Obviously, she overcame that in the end, but her descendants are carrying on her worst traits.
Huh?
Poor Nael. What a legacy to have.
Did you guys hear something?
Next up, we've got Shulk. House Reed. In memory of the founder of House Reed and the city's liberatrix. Rather than the founder herself, this statue depicts the founder's mentor figure, standing as a sign of the deep reverence and devotion she felt for her teacher. The founder's master was unconnected to her by bonds of blood, yet he raised her as would befit a child of one's own, it is said. Though of a calm and constant disposition, the sight of him on the battlefield, great red sword in hand, struck fear into many a Mobius. And though the vicious struggle against Mobius cost this ferocious warrior his right arm, the loss did nothing to diminish his desire to hone his martial skills each day, standing as vivid testament to his indomitable will. Again, Alpha's kind of been wiped from history here, and Mobius have been given the credit for taking Shulk's arm. But what's interesting about this one is that while the statue depicts Shulk, he's not one of the founders, because obviously he sacrificed himself before the new city was founded. The founder is actually Panacea, meaning that House Reed here is descended from Ryan and Sharla. And what's very interesting about that is that the character from House Reed we meet in the base game is Shania. In one of the original drafts for the first Xenoblade, they were planning that Ryan was going to betray the party. Obviously that didn't happen. But later on in the series, his bloodline did eventually betray the party. It's kind of interesting that that idea came back in a way. Next up, we have Nickel. House Ortiz. In memory of the founder of House Ortiz and the city's liberator. A Kavesi soldier, this founder was released from the Flame Clock system by the other founders, and henceforth spent every last ounce of his energy for the cause, to liberate the city as one of the first Ouroboros. With surpassing skill in mechanical engineering, the founder fought not with a blade, but with a weapon of his own fabrication. He was also responsible for laying the foundations of all the mechanical systems supporting the city to this day. Following the fight against Mobius, he poured the remainder of his days into rebuilding the city before finally perishing at the age of 80 years. Though how he attained that feat despite his origins as a Kevesi soldier remains unexplained. So yeah, as I was saying, Nicole was the one to eventually make all of the mechanical systems in the city, including the Gilgamesh Pharaonis that the city currently resides within. But it also confirms that Shulk and Rex's sacrifice paid off. Nicole and Glimmer, they both live long, hopefully happy lives. Their fathers would be proud, I think. Next up, we have Glimmer, House Rhodes. A soldier of Agnes, this founder's fight to the death against the founder of Ortiz, a soldier of Kethis, was interrupted by a chance meeting with other founders. Freed from the bondage of her flame clock, she joined the fight against Mobius. Although a soldier, the founder is reported to have been exceedingly gentle and kind at heart. Additionally, her skill in the healing arts greatly contributed to the development of medical science in the city in later ages, and irrespective of starting life as an Agnian soldier, she is said to have surpassed 80 years of age, though the way she achieved that remains shrouded in mystery. Now, I'm convinced that Glimmer must have been the one who wrote these various bios, because kind and gentle at heart? Is she? I don't know about that. Last, and certainly not least, is Rex. House Cassini. In memory of the founder of House Cassini and the city's liberatrix. Much like with the founder of Reed, this statue too depicts the founder's respected mentor rather than the founder herself. The mentor boasted a robust physique, wielding 2 great swords at once with utmost ease, and facing down Mobius despite the loss of one eye. He lived his life an unsophisticated sort, broad-minded but impassioned, and is said to have aided the founders in the fight against Mobius physically and spiritually. He was further reported to have been a free spirit, whose qualities influenced the other founders, still young and impressionable when the city was restored. Indelible proof of this rebellious spirit can be seen time and again in the ethos of the house in generations to come. So what's interesting about Rex is how much of the city can be traced to his lineage. Matthew here is the great-grandson of Mio, who is Rex's daughter. And so Hal's fandom is descended directly from Rex. Nael here is Matthew's sister, so the great-granddaughter of Mio. House Doyle is also directly descended from Rex. Glimmer here, like Mio, is Rex's daughter, meaning House Rhodes and half of the city is directly descended from Rex. And then we have House Cassini. Obviously, Rex isn't the founder of House Cassini, Linka is. However, he was her mentor, and his way of life has become something of an ethos for this house. So even though they're not directly descended from him, he still has quite a large impact on them as a house. And they still potentially do have a blood connection. Because Linka is the daughter of Zeke and Pandoria. And given that Rex is likely a far-flung descendant of Adam, Zeke is something of a distant cousin to Rex. Meaning that 4 of the 6 houses in the city have some kind of blood relation to Rex. That boy gets around. I mean, like, come on. Keep it in your pants, Rex. Finally, we have the 7th founder. The Ouroboros Stone's Cage. The object on display upon this plinth is the very first original Ouroboros Stone's Cage. It is important to note that initial designs for the monument are said to have included a statue of a 7th founder in its place. Next to no information remains about the 7th founder's identity, and it is possible that this is not due to a simple loss of records. Rather, historians speculate that this is the result of a conscious decision by the 7th founder. So, the identity of the 7th founder was quite a big mystery within the fandom for quite some time, and it's something that is fairly debated. But the way I see it, there's only really two possible candidates, and one of them makes a bit more sense than the other. The first is A. A is the only member of Future Redeemer's party not represented here. She was a big part of the fight against Alpha. However, like Shulk and Rex, A isn't a founder of the city. She became the avatar for Origin right after the fight with Alpha, and before they began restoring the city. Which is why I think the second candidate is more likely. And I just want to go into the menu and pull him up here because he needs calling out. Where is he?
In time of need, we here to help.
The seventh founder, my belief, is that it's Riku. Because he was called out by name by Matthew with the other 5 founders at the end of Future Redeemed. He was there at the founding of the city. He helped Nicole with all the technological stuff. And it makes sense that he would want to keep his identity secret. Because he knew, even before they began refounding the city, that he was going to go undercover in Kevis. And he likely wouldn't want to risk the city falling to Mobius and his identity being exposed, because that would jeopardize his mission. Which means this little shit spent 4 chapters traveling with the main party, knowing full well exactly where the city was and what it is. And he said nothing. I love you, Riku, but you are a lying liar. You are full of an incredible amount of shit. You're a hero. Without you, Mobius might never have been defeated. But you are full of shit. Anyway, that is everything that I want to talk about. With all that said, we're done. That is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed done. That is Xenoblade 3 done. And that is the Xenoblade trilogy done. I don't have too much to say about the playthrough of Future Redeemed itself, because it kind of hasn't been its own series. Most of the work that I did for it was done alongside the work for the base game, and it's been sort of just a victory lap for the Xenoblade 3 playthrough. Everything's gone really smoothly. It's been a much better note to end on than the massive bloat of side quests that I ended the base game with. But there's not too much to say. Instead, I want to talk about the playthrough of the entire trilogy and the entire series as a whole, because it's been quite the undertaking. Even now I'm done and I'm looking back on it with fondness and I'm very happy with how everything has went. Deciding to stream 3 massive RPGs plus their DLC campaigns almost back to back was crazy. That was a nuts idea. Someone should have taught me out of it. But I'm glad that I did it. And the fact that it's over is wild, because it's almost the end of an era, if you think about it. It's been a year and a half since I started my playthrough of Xenoblade 1. It's been 2 years, well, just over 2 years, since I started planning out this whole thing. And if we count X as well, it's been almost exactly 3 years to the day since I decided to start streaming that. 3 years of Xenoblade. I don't have too much to say about the X playthrough, because obviously that was its own thing, and I've already spoken a fair bit about that at length. But the trilogy was quite the undertaking. 3 itself had even more work going into it than X did, because I just didn't have a lot of the resources I had when I started planning X, and I had to get all of those myself. I obviously did all of the videos, all of the bios, which I'm very proud of how they all turned out. That was a lot of work. And then while I was doing all that, I was actively streaming through 1 and 2. And I thought they weren't going to take much planning and work, because the idea was, oh, you know, I'm just going to be going through the story. But as I got into them, I realized, one, there are side quests that I want to show off. So I've got to do the prep work to make sure I can do those. And there's just loads of stuff I wanted to talk about for those 2 games. Not only stuff just relating to the games themselves, but stuff that would kind of tease and set up things that were going to be relevant in Xenoblade 3. So I was having to do a lot of prep work on the fly for those 2 games, while also doing the absolute mountain of work that I needed to do for Xenoblade 3. I think I definitely bit off a bit more than I could chew at times. But you know, I'm very proud of the fact that I did it. I'm happy it turned out so well. I don't know that I'm ever going to do anything quite of this magnitude again. You know, I will probably eventually do a big game again, but I'm not going to commit to a series of big games. And when I do a big game, I'm probably going to try and strike more of a balance. Sort of somewhere halfway between what I did for Xenoblade 1 and 2 and what I did for Xenoblade 3, which... Well, there we go. If Xenoblade 4 ever comes out, there's kind of the line of effort we're going to shoot for. Going to show off a lot of side stuff, but not all of it. Although, I ain't committing to Xenoblade 4. That's that's hopefully a few years away yet. And, you know, I want to give anything big a bit of time before I get to it, because I've only just finished with this massive undertaking, and I want to keep things scaled back a bit and more chilled out for the time being. Yeah, it's a weird feeling, you know, this era being over. On to the next era. Now do all Final Fantasies. No, that's too many games. Monster Hunter, I mean, I think Monster Hunter will be one of those games that I potentially stream as a one-off thing. I don't know that I'd want to do a full playthrough on stream, because that would just take a ridiculous amount of time, and it doesn't really have a fleshed out story to kind of keep us hooked as we're going. Too late. You've already raised our expectations. Oh god, that's a lot of pressure, Sam. It's a lot of pressure. I don't think I can live up to those expectations. So, it's all very well and good talking about the end of an era and hinting at the start of the next one. I suppose you guys want to have a more tangible idea of what is coming next. But I've got to be real with you guys here for a moment. I need a break. Now, I'm not burning out on streams or anything like that, don't worry. I'm still having an absolute blast. This playthrough has been amazing to go through. All the work has been worth it. I've had a great time. But I want to paint a picture. I spend both of my weekend days streaming. The Saturday isn't too bad. I've still got the morning, I've still got the afternoon, and I don't tend to do much on a Saturday evening anyway, so I get plenty of stuff to do in the day, and then the stream kind of slots nicely in the evening. That slot is fine. The problematic slot is the Sunday one. For a while, it was kind of the perfect second slot for me. But with how my Sunday kind of goes at the moment, it's starting to become a bit of a hassle and a bit of a nuisance and getting in the way. I like to sleep in on a Sunday, just because it's a Sunday, you know, I want to rest. But by the time I've woken up and had breakfast, it's time to stream. And then by the time I've streamed, done my setup for next week, packed everything away, had dinner, had my bath that I like to have on a Sunday evening, I don't have much of Sunday left. And it's not really enough time to just rest and relax, ready for the rest of the week. And then there's the fact that while I've been doing this series, I've been spending a lot of time midweek in the evenings after work doing prep work and planning to make sure these streams go really smoothly. Obviously, the last few weeks, that's not been as much of an issue because obviously I've not been working, and going into the future, I won't be doing games that require that level of work in the week. But I think I need to take this opportunity. An era has ended. There is no better time to take a break so that I can go into whatever comes next, rested, relaxed, refreshed, and have my brain kind of reset a little bit. Because while I've been doing Xenoblade, I've been quite guilty of letting my streams control my life a little bit. You know, I put a lot of work into these plans, got really engrossed into them, and haven't had much going on outside of work, outside of streams in my life recently. So the plans, the streams, they kind of took over a little bit. What should have been just a hobby has become the main focus of my life. And I can't remember the last time I took a weekend off just to have a weekend off. You know, I've been ill sometimes, so I've not streamed that weekend. Even then, there's been a few times where I've streamed while I have been ill. And I usually only tend to take weekends off when I have concrete plans that I can't get out of. And I have been known to kind of turn down certain plans that have been offered because I didn't want to fall behind on the big Xenoblade plans that I have, because they were already going to take ages anyway, and I didn't want to delay them any more than they already would be. And I'm not sure that that's necessarily a healthy way to handle my streams, because I'm not a professional streamer, I'm not a full-time streamer. It is a hobby. And I think this break will help to kind of rein me in a bit, kind of reset how my brain works in relation to streams, and just kind of balance everything a little bit better. So what this all really means is that for the foreseeable future, Saturday streams are going to be on a hiatus, and Sunday streams are going to be just gone. I don't really want to do the Sunday ones anymore. Eventually, I will bring back a second stream slot. It just won't be Sundays. I don't know when that will be, and obviously it's not going to be anytime soon because I'm going to be on this break. But that will be a shift that will be coming in the future. We can both sleep in on a Sunday. Exactly. I'm not going to be completely gone during this break, though. I'm not going to be going fully cold turkey. I still plan on being active in the Discord and talking with people there. I'm still going to watch all of the streams that I usually watch, so I'll be around in people's chats. I still plan on doing the multiplayer streams with Ben and Sam. One, because I don't want to just go, oh, sorry guys, you know, I can't do them anymore and let those two down. But also because those streams are very different to regular streams. It's more like you guys are just watching us have a regular just multiplayer gaming session than it actually being a proper stream that, you know, we're all presenting. And I plan on still doing the end of the month Wednesday variety streams, just because there isn't really much work that goes into them. They're very relaxed, off the cuff. You know, I just pick a game and play it for a couple of hours. So I'll still be around. I'll still be doing my thing, but it's just going to be toned down for a little bit. I don't know how long this break is going to last. Probably around a month minimum, maybe more. I don't really want to put a time limit on it, because I feel like that kind of then turns it into a plan and defeats the point of the whole thing. You know, I don't want to be sitting there the whole break going, so and so many weeks till I'm back, and thinking about the plan when I come back. I just want to rest and relax. That said, though, to kind of prove that I still am really enjoying what I'm doing, and that I still have a lot of stuff in store for the future, I want to give you guys a bit of a tease of the potential things that I've been thinking about doing next. None of this is a concrete plan. One of the things I said to myself quite early on during Xenoblade 3 was I wasn't going to commit to anything after it until I was done, and I've stuck to that. I have ideas, I have lots of things that I potentially want to do, but I need to, at some point, go through them all, work out the priority of them, which ones I want to do more, which ones are more or less feasible, which ones are too much work. But here are some of the things you can expect to see when I eventually return. The main one, and the one that's probably going to be the highest priority, is Metroid. I made a little bit of a commitment that I wanted to eventually stream all of the 2D Metroid games. There are 2 of them left. One of them is a 3DS remake of a game I've already streamed. I'm not 100% sure that with my current setup, I'll be able to stream that smoothly. So that one's kind of in a little bit of limbo. But the other one should be quite easy to stream. And getting through that is going to be something of a priority. So expect that fairly early on, maybe next year sometime. Another series you'll be seeing a lot of in the future, hopefully, is Zelda. Zelda stands alongside series like Metroid, Pikmin, Xenoblade as series that I would consider to be my favourite gaming series. And yet, whereas I've quite heavily focused on Pikmin, Metroid, Xenoblade, Zelda's kind of been a here and there series for me as a streamer. Yeah, obviously, I did Breath of the Wild as a really big thing early on. But after that, you know, I've done a couple of games. But there's a lot of games in that series that I love that I haven't done, and I would like to get to streaming eventually. Games like Majora's Mask, Skyward Sword, Wind Waker, maybe Tears of the Kingdom one day, though that's obviously going to be quite a big undertaking. Pikmin. I love Pikmin to death. Yes, I've done the entire series. But there's something about Pikmin that just seems to work really well for my style of streaming. Those streams have always been some of the most fun I've had on stream. And while Pikmin 4 was fairly recent, my playthroughs of the first 3 Pikmin games were, well, they're years old at this point. So I'm sure I'll come up with some excuses to revisit those games at some point. Pokemon is something that will probably show up a fair bit as well. Kind of like Pikmin, Pokemon is a game that I feel is quite well suited to streaming. There are so many games, and there are so many different kind of interesting challenge runs that you can do, that it's kind of just an easy thing to jump onto when I don't really have any other ideas to do. Something I also want to start doing more of is first playthroughs of games on stream. When I started off, I kind of shied away from doing them because I had the idea that I didn't really want to wait between streams to play it. And then when I'm streaming, I kind of like to go in knowing exactly what I'm going to be doing. But I've done a few of them over the years. I've done Metroid Prime, I've done Portal 2, done Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And I had a lot of fun with them. And because they weren't new releases that had just come out and everyone wasn't talking about them online at that moment, the wait between streams wasn't too bad. And I think the benefit of the content of having me kind of react to those games for the first time outweighed that need to want to play them between streams. So I don't know what games I'd potentially be playing for the first time on stream, but I do want to do more of that. Plus, next year is a pretty big year for the channel. Because next year, for all 3 of us, really, me, Ben, and Sam, the 5th anniversary of streaming is coming up. There's still a few months to go. But I do have some plans in mind. And I need to really kind of lock down what I want to do. But whereas I didn't really do much for the anniversary this year, I want to do something big for the anniversary next year, because 5 years... When you think about it, 5 years is nuts. This started as a hobby to get me through COVID, to just have a way to talk to people because I couldn't go out and see people. And then 5 years later, Sure, I'm not a massive streamer, but I feel like I've grown quite a bit. I have a fair few regular chatters now who aren't people that I know in real life. I feel like I'm a lot better at streaming now. You know, I still have my moments of slip-ups and scuff, but I feel a lot more confident as a streamer. I feel like I know what I'm doing. I never foresaw this when I started. I never foresaw doing anything like this whole Xenoblade playthrough when I started. And yeah, I don't know 100% what those 5th anniversary plans will be yet. It's still, what, like 7 months away, so it's a little bit early to really start thinking about properly planning that out. Especially since I'm supposed to be taking a break from doing that sort of thing. But I do want to do something special for that. And that will be a big part of what's coming next year. So, yeah, I don't really have too much else to say. You know, I know this announcement is probably not what people were wanting to hear. But I think for me, and just for the long-term future of the channel, this is the right move. When we come back, I will have benefited from this. The streams will benefit from this. And we'll be able to continue sailing forward, having fun, and, you know, maybe I'll have a better life balance when I come back. Who knows? I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has been here and taken part in these Xenoblade streams. Because Xenoblade Chronicles is a series that means a great deal to me. There are so many characters I love in these games. I'm so invested in this game's world and story. And the reason why I did these streams was to take that love and just pour it onto the screen so that people could understand how great these games are. And it's been very heartwarming to see everyone engage with it as much as they have. You know, I put a lot of work into this, and sure, I'd still be proud of it if no one saw it. I'd still be proud just that I did it for me. But the fact that people were appreciating and enjoying what I'd done made it all worth it. And the fact that I've actually gotten people into the series as well, there's Ben, there's an example, just makes me happy. All of you, whether you've lurked, chatted, subscribed, given out gift subscriptions or bits, no matter how little or how much you've done to support me, every single little bit of support has meant the world. You're all the best. You're the best stream chat that a streamer could hope for. You know, I never dreamed of having a community this great. Sure, we're small, but size isn't everything. And I'd rather have you guys than have like 20,000 people that I don't know and that I don't talk to that much. I'm glad you've enjoyed experiencing the series, Sam. That's, you know, a big part of why I did this. Anyway, go back a few years, you'd never have thought you'd have wanted to play Xenoblade, but here we are. See, again, that's part of why I did this. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for watching this stream, any stream in this series, just any stream that I've done. And I'll see you all at some point in the future. Probably won't actually be that long because technically this coming Wednesday is the last Wednesday of the month and I do have something in mind, so you'll be seeing me again in a few days, even though I'm acting like this is the big end finale thing. I want to leave you guys out with a very special piece of music. A track that, from the moment I heard it, resonated with me emotionally and instantly became one of my favorite tracks in all of gaming. And that track is the ending theme of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Future Redeemed. That track is called Future Awaits. Yes, we heard it yesterday. I know. But it's so damn good, I want to hear it again. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you all later. Bye.
You're standing at a loss in front of a door that's been closed for so long. With your foreseeing eyes, what do you see? Until you open it, you cannot know. Afraid to see what could be on the other side. Oh, can't you see how much I feel the same as you? It seems we just need to let it all go free. I've seen that look before, the stare of your fearful looking eyes, that quiet voice inside. What do you hear? Will you give up and stay where you belong? Afraid your time, it just might take too long. And you won't know unless we keep on trying. Now we need the strength to carry I see you by the door. So just walk through. Don't take too long. 'Cause everything you've said